everyone and welcome to my channel. I hope you're all very well. It's been a while since I've last uploaded a video, but here I am. The living has literally shot up and still on the rise with things like mortgages, energy bills, gross. So I have put together a few tips and ways to save money and cut costs. Number 1.
Try shopping at places like Lidl and Aldi, where the products are a lot cheaper than the usual high street supermarkets. Tesco, as with other supermarkets such as Asda's, they all offer club card discounts. So take out a club card today if you haven't already. It's completely free of charge, and then start saving with coupons as well as discounts in the store and online. Quite often, supermarkets' own brands compare just as well to high-end brands, but you won't know until you give it a try. There was a time I would never ever dream to swap my Heinz baked beans for any other beans. Now look, this is from Lidl. It comes in a pack of 4, is way cheaper than the Heinz beans from Tesco's, and tastes just as amazing.
Number 2.
When you are eating out, you are not just paying for the food, but also for the service and convenience. Get used to preparing food at home. Start by filling up your freezer and stocking up with staple foods that have a long shelf life and/or expiry date, such as dried beans, lentils, rice, pasta, oats and flour. As a rough guide, 1 10 kg of bag of rice lasts us a month and sometimes even longer. Where you have kids and a family, you can't go wrong with pasta, such a versatile staple food. The thing to remember is if you are stocking up with flour, just make sure it's in an airtight container.
Number 3.
Cutting your central heating temperature by just 1 degree will make a big difference to the amount of energy use. Plus, you could cut down your heating bills by up to 10%. Washing clothes at a lower temperature could save you up to £40 a year. Modern washing machines can clean clothes effectively at lower temperatures. Changing from 40 degrees to 30 degrees Celsius means you can get 3 cycles instead of 2 using the same amount of energy, depending on your washing machine.
Number 4.
Turning appliances off at the socket could save you up to £70 a year. Almost all electrical appliances in your home, such as a computer, TV, smart devices and video game consoles, draw power continuously unless unplugged. And by closing all your curtains and blinds at night, you can help stop warm air escaping through the windows and reduce heating loss.
Number 5.
Using public transport is way cheaper than owning and operating a car. No more sitting in traffic during rush hour, thanks to bus lanes and other bus priority measures. And if you're really serious about drastically cutting expenses, commit to spending cash only, if not forever, at least for the time being. Doing this forces you to account for every pound you use, and studies indicate that people are more frugal when they use cash.
I'm going to now share with you 3 different recipes that you can cook for dinner very easily at home.
This is Savoy spinach. You can buy these from market stalls as well as Indian, Chinese and South Asian grocery stores in the UK. If, however, you find it very difficult to find them, Then you can buy the usual baby spinach leaves that we can normally buy from our superstores. I'm going to serve this dish with rice. You can of course serve it with naan bread, roti, flatbread, chapati. Remember to take your time and wash the rice carefully as it contains a lot of starch. I'm using a pressure cooker which cooks rice. If you don't have a rice cooker, then your next best thing is to get a saucepan which is non-stick and has a lid which has a hole that releases steam. The first step is to add some cooking oil to the pan. This is about 4 tablespoons. Add more or less according to your own taste. And then to that I've just added a few cloves of garlic, nicely chopped, and then once that goes golden, add the chopped onions. That's about 2 medium-sized onions, again roughly chopped. Add salt to taste. Throw in a couple of bay leaves if you have them. Give it a good stir. Once the onions have softened and gone golden brown, it's time to add in the spices. And the only ground spice that you will need for this dish is just turmeric, haldi. Add in 1 or 2 portions of prawn. Each portion is about 500 grams. Squeeze some lemon juice onto the prawns. This is what's going to create and bring the flavour right through. After cooking on slow to medium flame for about 2 to 3 minutes, I have added some green chilies. It's optional, but it does add to the flavour. I just wanted to mention I'm cooking on a non-stick pan. This dish is best cooked on a non-stick pan, otherwise could easily stick to the bottom and burn. So in goes my spinach. I've roughly chopped them up and I'm using 2 whole bunches. Spinach is full of water, so there's no need to add any water to this dish. As you can see, once the water has been released, the spinach has gone soft and soggy. And this is it. It's time to serve nice and hot with the rice. For my next dish, I'm going to be using these masoor dal. This is red split lentil. I then added onions, roughly chopped, 1.5 medium size, bay leaf, cinnamon stick, and 2 teaspoons of turmeric, which is haldi powder. Sadly, the clip got deleted. As it starts to come to boiling point, you will notice that it'll start to flow out. That's why I have not fully closed the lid. I'm using a manual whisk to stir and blend out the lentil into a smooth consistency. The lentils are not quite tender yet, so I'll need to cook it for another few minutes until it all breaks down. separate saucepan, I've added some ghee, which is clarified butter, and to that I'm going to add some finely chopped garlic. This is one whole bulb of garlic. You can add more or less, but I must say the aroma is amazing. And I've also added some red dry chilies. Be careful with those, they are very, very hot. And your dal is ready to serve. So for my final recipe, egg bhuna, add some cooking oil to a fry pan, a teaspoon of turmeric, and then the boiled eggs. So I quickly took out the eggs, and to the same oil I've added roughly chopped onions, some salt to taste, and then give it a good stir. Mix well with a couple of bay leaves, again if you have them handy. If you don't have any, don't worry. To soften the onions and add a bit of moisture, I've added some water. Use a masher to break it all down before adding the ground spices. A little more water for a runnier consistency. That's haldi powder, which is turmeric, some chili powder, you can use any Kashmiri or just ordinary, and some coriander powder. I'm not going to be using any cumin powder for this, it's optional. And like I've always said in all my cooking videos, once the oil separates, your spices are nicely cooked. It's time to add in green chilies, followed by the eggs that we have prepared earlier on. Sometimes I like to cut the eggs in half and then allow the spices to go right through. This is a very popular dish in Bangladesh, West Bengal, and Bengalis worldwide. If you haven't tried this, then you're definitely missing out. Finally, add a splash of water, let it cook for a minute or two. Garnish with some fresh coriander leaves. I've also cut out some wedges of yellow lemon and some green chilies, the Bengali way.
So this brings us to the end of the video. I hope you have found it useful. If there are any tips you'd like to share, then please feel free to comment below. Until next time folks, take care, see you all soon.